G'day guys, my name's Alex and I'm a sports physiotherapist and welcome back to another episode on ACL Prehab. In today's video we're talking about glute and trunk exercises to work on. It's quite important that you develop a really strong base through your glutes, through your trunk, as this provides good hip stability, which is very important for your knee in ACL rehab. So if you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments below and let's get into the exercises that we should do for your ACL prehab. So guys, to start off with our early stage glutes, we're doing side leg raise, which is an open kinetic chain exercise, meaning my foot is not in contact with the ground. It's a great glute med exercise. So lying on your side, band around your knees, raising up 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. This is a very good glute burner. It's a nice way to get your glutes working early on in this recovery phase. To get some glute max, which is your big glute muscle working, we can get onto our belly and do some prone extensions. So making sure that we're not moving about our lower back and that the movement is occurring at our hips. So raising up, squeezing the glutes at the top. It's a really challenging exercise here. You can add the band around your knees to add that little bit more resistance if you're not quite working that hard, if body weight is too easy. I would suggest once again 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. Strength endurance is the goal. Rolling onto our back, if you can put a bit of weight through your feet, doing some glute bridges is a great exercise to develop some glute strength in your glute max. So we want to posteriorly tilt our pelvis as we do this exercise. That's tucking our tailbone up, and I'll post a video on how to do that in the description. Once that gets too easy, we want to go to single leg, 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. We're still working strength endurance at this point in time. So single leg bridges are extremely challenging. It's going to take you a while to build up to that 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps, making sure that you're pushing and getting your glutes working hard. Hip thrusters are a great little exercise to get more depth through range, so a bit harder. So 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. We're focusing a little bit more on strength here. So set yourself up with the bench between your shoulder blades, feet underneath in the right angle position, raising up. Once this gets too easy with 2 leg, we want to move on to single leg hip thrusters, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. It's a really good glute exercise for glute max. But we don't want to stop here. As soon as we can do 3 sets of 12 reps with the single leg hip thruster, we then want to add load. So adding a plate or a power band, as seen here, is a great way to introduce more load to the exercise. So we always want to keep challenging ourselves and get stronger with our ACL prehab. So make sure that we're increasing the load when we can. Once we've moved past a plate or a power band, we then can add load with a barbell or with a fixed barbell, as I'm using here. Same principles apply. Extend all the way up to the top, squeezing the glutes, and we're not overarching through our back. We are posteriorly tilting our pelvis. It's the key to getting this exercise done correctly. Also challenge yourself to perform this with a single leg variation, as it puts more demand on that one leg by itself and you get more glute exercise. So crab walks or monster walks are up next, so 3 sets of 10 to 15 meters. It's a great way to get side glute or glute medius strength work. We want to be slightly flexed at our hips, slightly flexed at our knees for a crab walk, or fixed at our hips and our knees are locked to be doing a monster walk. I think it's horses for courses. Go with what you can feel the exercise work your glutes more. Pick that one. Band position is important. The band around your feet is supposed to give you more glute activation and less TFL, which is a really helpful little muscle that we don't really want to be working in this. So having the band position around your midfoot, as seen in this video, is a great position to maximize your glute activation during a crab walk or a monster walk. Another exercise that you can chuck on to help superset and develop some glute fatigue is a side leg raise or a standing side leg raise. So band is in that same position around the midfoot. Make sure you stabilize through your trunk and you're not overarching through your back to do the motion. The key is to pick a weight where you can control and then move through your hips, and we're not kicking out and not controlling the motion. A star plank is a really nice way to get some glute and trunk and core activation happening at the same time. So setting up in a side bridge position or a side plank position, band around the tops of the knees, raising the leg up, and make sure that your underside of your hip isn't dropping. We want to be pushing down through the knee and keeping a nice strong trunk position. Once you can do this and your knee can tolerate, a full position is extremely challenging. 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps. Make sure that you keep the height of your hips off the mat. Don't drop through your hips, and then raising up through that top leg. Moving on to some basic just trunk exercises. Dish holes for a minute is a nice way where your knee isn't in contact with the ground to get some good trunk strength. We want to make sure that we're folded up with our hips off the floor. We've got no arch in our back, and our shoulder blades are off the floor as seen here. Ideally, we'd have our toes pointed and your fingers straight, and keeping our head tucked as well. Fairly early on, we can start off with the front plank. So whether we're on our knees, but this might be uncomfortable for a lot of people, so we can do a full plank and then rest our affected leg on top of the leg that is not affected and is working to hold ourselves up, and then we're just holding a basic normal plank. We can do a side plank where we have our bottom leg straight resting on the outside of our foot and our top leg over resting on the inside of our foot. This is a nice way to get activation of our glute med, get our trunk working really hard. This is another variation of the star plank that we went through earlier. I think the star plank is a harder exercise, and I think it has more benefits than a side plank. However, it doesn't mean that we can't do it. So a basic star plank as seen here is once again what we did earlier, but without the band, just throwing it in this bunch as one of the core variations that we can do fairly early on. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about ACL prehab exercises or for the glutes and core that we covered in here, or if you have any questions about any of my other videos that I've done, as I said, I've done knee mobility, quads, hamstrings, glutes, and trunk now. If you have any questions about any of that, please leave me a comment below. If you feel like someone would benefit from this, share it with them. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. See you in the next video. Thanks guys, bye.